Welcome to the Know Before You Go Travel Show, where we share all the latest travel tips, tricks, and insights to make your next vacation the best one yet. So sit back, relax, grab a cocktail, and enjoy the show with Penyak Travel's George Penyak and our senior travel consultant, Janet Penyak.
Hello again.
Oh, I didn't know we were starting.
Kick it off with live. Let's go.
Oh, hey everyone.
Hey everyone, we are back for another edition of the Know Before You Go Travel Show, and we got a show for you today.
Yes.
And Janet wasn't even ready for that.
Well, no, usually you give me a heads up and you're like, okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah,
So-
1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, we don't edit anything. We just click.
That's why I was like, oh, we're going.
Just
Okay.
click upload, click publish at the end.
There you go.
So anyways, we got a show for you today, guys. And by the way, thank you guys so much for the reviews and the love. We appreciate that. If you hear anything that you want more information about, please hit us up at penyaktravel.com, or you can reach us at Instagram at penyaktravel or Facebook at penyaktravel in our Twitter game. I'm still trying to figure out why our Twitter account is still messed up.
Well, I don't tweet, so that's on you.
I know. I got to figure that out. If you know the Twitter game well, like hit me up on Instagram. I can figure everything. It's just like Twitter won't let me open our account.
Oh, okay.
I think it thinks we're spam or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't figured it out. I don't have time to figure it out.
Not right now.
Not right now, because what's going on right now. But anyways, on a serious note, we have kind of a serious episode today. We just got back from Cancun. We had a blast in Cancun.
Yes.
That place is awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, we had a great time.
Best Mexican food, best margaritas. You got to do the whole thing when you're there. You and I get culturally immersed when we do stuff like that, and we had our fair share of Mexican food and margaritas and tequila.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it was
great.
good. It was good. But this show, we're actually going to pause kind of reviewing those properties that we hung out with and talk about that trip. We're not going to do it on this episode because of everything that's going on in the media right now, and everything that's going on actually in the world, not necessarily just the media, but what you're hearing all the time, is a coronavirus.
Yes, this is mid-March of 2020, just in case.
Yeah, in case anyone's, yes, mid-March here. So obviously, depending on what time you're listening to this disease or illness is changing. Restrictions are changing by the minute.
Yes.
And this definitely impacts people's travel plans.
Oh, it is completely disrupted everything. I've never seen anything like this. I never even expected anything like this. I'm still at a loss for words.
Yeah, it's like everyone's world has been flipped upside down, and so including their travel plans. But we're really here today to talk about the travel plans. Like, how do you deal with this, and how do you handle and manage your upcoming travel plans? Because what's crazy is there's a lot of great deals right now. Now, obviously, you don't want to leave the country or travel in the next few weeks, but if you were already kind of thinking about a trip in the fall, I think now's an excellent time to book. Call me crazy. I think this will blow over. I mean, I'm no Nostradamus here, but we're going to save how to take advantage of the deals for the next episode. This episode, we want to talk about how do you manage your current trip. If you've got a trip booked already,
yeah,
there's a lot. I mean, even the airlines are changing their their waivers and everything by the minute.
Well, yeah, all the policies surrounding how to navigate this, they vary based on the resort, cruise line, airline. It all is different, but it's constantly changing. So what we'll kind of give you an overview on today is how it is today. So, but again, it could change tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it really could. So we want to give you great information that's useful. You shared some good information. Yesterday we were in the car driving, and you said, really the most beneficial thing for people to do right now is really just wait until the absolute last minute before you make a decision. Know when your deadline is for, say, a payment or a commitment to a trip, and try to collect as much information as possible before you make your decision. Because I feel like as quickly as this thing came on is as quickly as it could go.
It could, yeah. You never know.
And you just don't know. So I think that's sound advice. Explain. I mean, you had a call from a client yesterday that had a question on their trip, and it wasn't quite the time for them to make the actual decision. Explain that scenario. Obviously, don't say who the client was, but explain the scenario and what advice you gave them.
Well, yeah, so I have actually a couple that are supposed to be traveling very soon. So one of these is next week. Next Wednesday, they're supposed to leave. But I told her I would wait until the end of this week to make a decision because you're not pressed to make it right now. And, things could change. If there's a travel ban, then, that would make the decision for her. Or, maybe, who knows, maybe this dies down in a few days. I just don't know. So you don't have to make that decision yet. And then there's another couple or family that's supposed to go to Jamaica for spring break. And he does have cancel for any reason insurance, and he's supposed to leave on April 13th. So he said yesterday he wanted to cancel, but I advised him, don't do it yet, because we have until the day before you leave and we can make that decision. So you still have a couple of weeks to decide, and maybe it gives it time for this to kind of die down, because we just don't know. There's so much unknown in it. So
that's the thing. I mean, we don't know in the future. I mean, I think everyone's listening. I mean, a lot of people are tuned into the news right now, and information's flying around the internet, flying around social media, flying around the 24-hour news networks, and no one knows for sure. It seems like when you read some of the stories that China's already kind of come around on this, where they're on the back end of it.
Right.
You just don't know, and I think that's sound advice. I mean, if you have a little bit of time, I would just wait. Don't cancel like a trip you had planned for 9 months.
Right.
Any earlier than you have to. I would be prepared to cancel it.
Yes.
Be prepared not to go. But if you have zero penalty, I would wait until that last second and then make that decision. Have it planned, like if hey, if XYZ happens, I'm not going, or if XYZ happens, I am going.
Right. And, sometimes this decision could be made for you, because if you are uneasy about traveling, and let's just say you have a final payment that's due like next week on your trip, and so then that is when you need to make a decision, and you don't have any sort of like cancel for any reason insurance or anything like that, well, then that might, that decision might be made for you. But I can tell you, if you think that you'll be able to travel at a later date in the year, a lot of companies and airlines are waiving their change fees and protecting your price, so you definitely won't pay any more for your trip. But then they're allowing you to move it and use it by the end of the year.
Yeah, and I think that's smart, and I think that having that flexibility will help, and I think more and more companies are going to do that. I think a lot of them really have.
Right.
But honestly, I mean, what's really crazy is watching the future travel rates. I mean, with all these cancellations, I mean, the call centers are inundated with calls. The help desk hotline, or the help desk like chat lines are inundated. All these companies like cruises and resorts and airlines, they're at just max capacity with a backlog of calls. But what's happened is supply and demand. You get a lot of people canceling. Demand's dropping right now.
Yeah, it's very low.
Prices are phenomenal. And I don't want to steal too much thunder for our next show, but I see a ton of opportunity to get trips for the fall for 50% off, 60% off in some cases.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've been looking. I mean, we're going to probably book some flights for the fall.
Yeah.
I mean, because to be honest, if this thing's still going on in the fall, the world might as well end.
I was going to say, I feel like if it is still going on in the fall, then yeah, maybe it is the end of the world.
There's just no way. Like, I feel like there's no risk in booking something for the fall, especially if you can find the right trip with the cancel for any reason insurance.
Yeah, which is not always available. So I do want to point that out. That is not available to some residents of certain states. Like New York has a law that you're not allowed to offer it to New York residents.
That's a lovely law. I wonder why. That's so weird.
I don't know. It's something with their state insurance board. I actually just learned about it. So,
that's so weird.
And then, some of those cancel for any reason policies will only give you back a certain amount of your money, a certain percentage, like 75%, 80%. They're not going to always give you back the full cost of your trip, but
yeah, there
are some that will too. So it all depends. And I know that's not a definitive answer for you, but it really all depends on what you've booked, and if you're, flexible at all, and everything. This is just a crazy world.
Yeah.
My mind is like all over the place.
Yeah, but I think there's real opportunity, and I can't wait for our next episode here because, and we're throwing a lot of hyping up the next episode here. But what's interesting to me is the thought of getting a trip at 50 to 60% off, especially a cruise for the fall. But think about this: if you can find the cancel for any reason policy that backs up the trip 100%. You can take advantage of these 60% off deals now, and you got nothing to lose.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could literally just say, you can get the trip for 60% off, spend a couple $100 on cancel for any reason insurance if you find the right one, of course. Right. And then you're literally got a trip at a fraction of the price that you normally would, And if something happens, you could cancel it.
Or
I mean, that's like the best deal ever.
Yes, or with a lot of the cruise lines, so they are offering like a cruise with confidence policy. And so you are allowed to cancel your trip up until 48 hours before departure. So if you don't feel comfortable with going, then you can cancel and you'll receive that amount as a future travel credit.
Yeah, I'll say this. I will definitely be cruising again. I'm not worried about cruising at all. I think this whole quarantine thing has a lot of people freaked out. Me personally, I'm not going to cruise like today,
right?
Obviously, but
we went on a cruise in December.
Yeah, I mean, once this thing passes, I mean, the technology and sanitizing some of these cruises, it's incredible.
Well,
so
I'm
not that worried about it.
We've been on a lot of cruises, like 12, I think, something like that.
At least.
And we have not ever one time been sick from a cruise.
We haven't.
So.
And some people get unlucky, right? You know, it does happen.
Oh, it definitely happens.
But yeah, it's so during times now, I think that's sound advice. If you have a trip planned now, wait till the last second. You don't know what's going to happen.
And a lot of companies, if you're traveling, just if it's pushed out more than 2 weeks from today, they won't even talk. They won't even talk about it right now with you. So you have to wait because they're handling trips that are leaving in the next week or two. So
yeah. I mean that makes sense too, because I think a lot of people are calling and their trips a month out. I mean, anything can happen right now in a month. I know the future looks very grim. It just does. If you're watching the news, it looks very grim. But I don't know. You can't really make a decision just yet, unless you have like a final payment on the line, right? Then it's different, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say is, like I said, the policy, all of the policies are changing every single day, and the airlines and the cruise lines and the tour companies, they're all doing the best that they can to navigate this, and so just have patience with them. And I understand that if you are scared to travel right now, and they understand that. And so just them offering flexibility and allowing people to change and, at least travel by the end of the year, that is very, very generous in my opinion, because usually things are completely non-refundable. You can't cancel. So, if you're this close in. So what they are offering, even if you might not like it, it really is very generous.
Yeah, and I think travel agencies are inundated too, because everyone's going to the travel agent. I know we've been slammed with an unprecedented amount of requests and cancellations, and it's been tough, but we understand. I mean, you can't travel in all this right now, especially with particular bans in place and so on and so forth. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it's sound advice. Be patient with some of these tour operators, your American Airlines reps. I mean, they're getting hit from all angles, and everyone. I mean, this is something that is out of almost everyone's. I mean, no one has control over this.
It's out of everyone's hands.
No one's. This isn't the airline's fault. This isn't
a
travel agent's fault. This isn't a resort's fault or a destination. This is literally unprecedented, uncharted waters.
Yep.
And I just think we all just need to take a breath. It's going to be okay. I really think, as I said in my Instagram post, I mean, unwavering optimists here. We're going to get through this.
Oh, yeah.
We will. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to look back at this crazy time and just look back maybe 2 years from now and be like, wow, that was just wild what happened. And it's unfortunate that people did lose their lives regardless of their age. But I think we're just going to look back and be like, wow, what a crazy... I mean...
Well, I can't wait for that. I'm ready to
I
get
know.
through this.
I think everybody is. And, I mean, it's... What do you say? I mean, there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Yeah, and and I also want to say, because I've been asked this, well, what if I just want to cancel my trip and I don't want to postpone it and travel by the end of the year? Well, that's unfortunate. You can try to make a special request to get refunded, but there's just no guarantee on it. And the thing is it's not anyone's fault. So, you can't be, in my opinion, I would not take it out or be mad on the cruise line, or the airline, because they're just trying to navigate the situation as best that they can too. And they're already completely losing their butts on this whole thing. So,
yeah, no, it's everyone. No one's winning right now.
No one's winning.
This is a complete loss for everybody. So, but I to kind of pump some life into
positivity
into this.
Well, yes, one other thing I want to say is if you have, normal insurance that allows for cancellation due to medical reason, death in the family, anything like that. So that would cover you if you got sick and couldn't travel, but it does not cover the fear of getting the virus as a reason to cancel your trip.
Yeah, and you really have to read those policies really closely.
Yeah.
Unless the tour operator changes things, you can't. If you're scared, it's hard. I mean, it's not really a covered reason unless you have to cancel for any reason, right?
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Just with normal basic insurance policies, that is not a covered reason. The fear of getting the virus.
Yeah, but chances are, if you're traveling the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a covered reason. I mean, you're going to be, especially in some of these countries like Italy or Europe. Or,
if there's a travel ban,
that's the thing. There's a ban in place, but we'll see. I think, and this is just my opinion on it, and I don't have any medical background, but I really think everyone keeps saying 2 weeks, like we're gonna close, where everyone's working from home until the end of March. Everyone's doing it. Everything's canceled till the end of March. And April, and I have a feeling the warm weather's coming.
Yep.
People are going to be cooped up for 2 weeks. Warm weather's, and listen, I'm no scientist. I'm no doctor. I just look at it like, hey, if a lot of this disease doesn't travel around that well in the summer, maybe the warm weather will slow it down. And I think people will slowly start to see things maybe come back to normal in April. At least that's what we can hope for. That's what I'm hoping for. I've got my fingers crossed, saying, okay, this is going to be a very unique 2 weeks.
Yep,
it's going to be crazy. Maybe we'll do a lot of podcasts.
Maybe so.
Pump out a lot of podcasts.
Just speaking of cancellations, my Disney just got canceled.
Your trip to Disney?
Yeah.
Wah, wah. Yeah, it's my birthday next month, and you were going to go to Disney. What were you doing at Disney? Tell everybody.
Yeah, so I was going for an agent education program, and just kind of see all the new updates and everything that they've done.
New Star Wars facilities?
Yeah, Star Wars. So I just got the email. It's been canceled.
Oh, man. Bummer.
Yep.
This, we're
and I already have my flight, too, so I guess I'll have the flight, and I'll have the value of that to use at a later date. So
there you go.
Yep.
Well, Cancun was awesome. I mean, let's at least end this podcast on a high note here with all the grim and doom, that people feel is coming.
The doom and gloom.
The doom and gloom, and we're going to do a whole deeper dive in each of these properties. But we stayed at the Secrets property there,
Secrets Playa Mujeres,
which is about 45 minutes north of Cancun, which we were very impressed by. And then also we stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, which we were very impressed by. And I think this is going to ignite a beautiful episode of
all-inclusive versus
non-all-inclusive. So our upcoming episodes, we just want to share with everybody so you can tune in. And also, if you mash the subscribe button, you would automatically get all this information. But anyways, upcoming episodes, I think the next one's going to be deals on travel, because I really think there's just so many good deals out there.
And I'll pull some, and I'll have a lot of examples for you.
I mean, we're finding flights, for a few $100 to Hawaii in the fall. I mean, just Europe, crazy stuff.
Oh, crazy deals.
And you got to think for the fall, if we're still in the same spot, then the world's ending. It might as well be Armageddon.
Yeah,
you might as well book something and bank on the world continuing on.
Right. And I would say a lot of these prices, especially on the flights that I'm seeing, they're lower than I've ever seen before.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Like the demand has dropped so much right now with the fear, and it's just the prices are just out of whack. And we're going to book flights. We're booking flights to Hawaii. We might book flights to Europe. I don't even know. We're going to do something here because we have to. You and I personally are going to have to take advantage of this.
Yes.
So that's an upcoming episode. Then we're going to cover Secrets Playa Mujeres, right? We're going to cover and Dreams.
Yes.
So we went to Dreams Playa Mujeres and Secrets Playa Mujeres. They're next to each other. Dreams being family friendly and Secrets being adult only.
Yep.
Then we're going to cover Ritz-Carlton, Cancun. Cover that, and then we're going to do a massive debate on the all-inclusive versus non-all-inclusive. So yeah, we've got some great shows coming up.
Yes, I'm excited.
We got some great shows coming up.
And we've got plenty of time to do it.
Plenty of time. I think we're going to pump out. I would love to start cranking out more frequent podcasts because I think our listeners are going to be itching to get out of the house, and we would love to drop some good travel knowledge on them. Some know-before-you-go travel knowledge.
Yes.
And I'm telling you right now, the biggest know-before-you-go travel tip of this show is there are deals out there. We can't talk about that enough, how stupid low these deals are.
Oh, yeah.
And so we would love to book a trip for one of our listeners for you guys to hit us up. If you're listening and you're interested in some of these deals we're talking about specifically for the fall, we'd be happy to hear. Send us a quote request. Let us know what you like, what your budget is, and we can definitely find you an incredible trip for the fall right now. I think that's going to be a protected time, and obviously anything we book you, we're going to make sure that you're on the right plan so you can cancel for any reason should, God forbid, this virus continue on into the fall, which I don't think it will. I really don't. But I think there's deals.
If they cancel for any reason, it's not always offered, and it doesn't always give you a 100% refund. So I want to make that clear.
Yeah, we want to make that clear, but we would obviously talk through all that with each of our client before you book something, right?
Yes.
Of course, yeah. So, anyways, well, that's a show. Oh, no, we got to do question of the day.
Oh, what's the question of the day?
What's the question of the day, you say? I think I got it right here.
Okay.
What is your favorite childhood travel memory?
My favorite childhood travel memory.
Dun, dun, dun,
I was going to say, well, as growing up, my parents didn't travel that much. We went to Disney.
Oh, there you go.
So I guess maybe it was Disney. Otherwise, we just spent our vacations at the local beach.
Yeah, I did Disney a lot too. So Disney would be your favorite. Anything specific about Disney?
No.
What did you do? You don't remember like one magical moment when you're walking through the park and you got your Disney ears on and you got your your Disney ice cream cone?
I was like 4 years old.
I know, but everyone had the Disney ear ice cream.
I know.
thing.
I don't remember it though.
You don't remember that?
That's a terrible question of the day.
Well, I just found it on. I mean, I try to answer the internet's questions. I mean, these are the internet's travel questions, not mine.
Yeah. I guess that. I don't know. I used to go to the beach with my family every single year. We'd rent a house for a week.
That's a travel memory.
Yeah, and that was always a lot of fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah. But we never took, big trips.
Yeah,
they took big trips on their own, like to Hawaii and everything, but they didn't take us.
Yeah, we did the beach too. When I was a kid, we did the beach all the time.
That's pretty common down south. So
yeah, and then I grew up when I was real young. I was in Florida, and so in Florida you always go to Disney. So we went to Disney all the time. Just because of the proximity, and I think Florida residents back then got really good deals. But I think obviously the Alaskan cruise was probably the biggest one, and that was when I was in high school, and my grandmother took us on that trip.
Yeah, you talked about it it was the last episode.
Was it the last one? Yeah,
I think so. That we did the Alaska. Yeah,
so that'd probably be like I think seeing whales live for the first time. I'll never forget that when I was in high school, and then also I'll never forget. This is probably my worst travel memory as a childhood. I was lost in a water park once. It was terrifying.
Oh,
I think it was the Disney water park. It was like a new water park when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I just remember I got lost, and I was like, I don't even remember what age I was. I was definitely of the age where you would be terrified if you lost your parents. And I was terrified. I was running around, I was looking for someone, and finally, I was one of those kids where they're, is Mrs. or Mr. Penyak in the park? We have your son George here at guest services. That was me one time. I was that kid at one point, and I was bawling my eyes out.
That happened to me in a Walmart once, but that was a completely different story.
Yeah, I mean, the water park, Walmart, hey, it can be actually equally as terrifying in Walmart. Maybe even more terrifying these days. It's probably more terrifying these days if you get lost in a Walmart.
Yeah, no, I got lost.
I bet that happens all the time nowadays.
Yeah, I think it does. So
all the time.
And back then you didn't have cell phones, so
it's like lost. Instead of like finding out their name, it's just like lost kid aisle 5.
Yeah.
Clean up aisle 5 with a lost kid. No, that's probably
your jokes are so corny.
Hey,
I'm just letting you know.
Hey, I know they are.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy telling them.
Okay, that's fine.
They make me laugh.
They make you laugh. Okay.
Yeah, that's how bad my jokes are. They make me laugh.
That's good. At least someone's laughing.
You're laughing?
I'm laughing at you.
I guarantee you someone is at home laughing at my jokes. At least one listener.
Maybe.
Maybe one?
Maybe.
I don't know. Shout out to... We have a few people listening on the Alexa. If you guys didn't know, you can actually listen to the Know Before You Go Travel podcast on the Alexa. Say, Alexa, start the Know Before You Go Travel podcast. And I think if you say that, it'll... Bam.
Yes, our voices will be broadcast from there.
Our beautiful golden voices.
There you go.
But anyways, no, I'm trying to end the show on a high note. It's a very tough topic to talk about, but we had to get it out there, because it's just so prevalent nowadays what's going on with the coronavirus. That
you can't even look at your phone without having an alert about it. So
yeah, and I think it's just good for us to give our audience some information, especially if they have a trip booked that's unfortunately not with Penyak Travel. If they booked it on their own, that's okay. We still love you too. But to give them a little advice on how to handle this, I would say wait to the last moment and really try to. And I think almost all the vendors are going to work with you.
Pretty much,
yeah,
yes.
I mean,
so
it's going to be very flexible.
I mean, I have one. It's a hotel, and it was a non-refundable rate in Greece, and so I mean, now there's with the travel bans and everything. So
yeah,
hopefully that hotel will do the right thing and refund the money. So we'll see.
Yeah. We'll fight for that one.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I mean, so anyways, we'll call that a show. I'm trying to find a high note here to end this on. I think the next. I think the high note of this show is going to be talking about the next shows, like
all the
deals.
travel deals, because I absolutely love when I find people great deals. So
we're going to pull deals, and we're going to pull deals. We're going to give specific prices and from certain areas. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a massive deal show. So if you like good deals, now's the time to take advantage of it, and we'll do everything we can to make sure you're protected on the back end. And Tom Brady's not with the dang Patriots.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
crazy.
a Patriots fan. I just can't believe that's something we talk about. The GOAT.
We don't have to talk about that.
I know, but it's nice to sprinkle in headlines here and there.
Since that has nothing to do with travel.
What?
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. But it's massive news. It's news outside of the coronavirus.
So this actually just made me think. I have no idea why, but I just want to mention it. If you are in the military, and the military or the Department of Defense has issued, saying that no members can travel up until I believe it's like May 11th. So if you do have insurance, like regular insurance, most of them have a clause in there where if your granted military leave is revoked, then that is a covered reason, and so they'll reimburse you for any cancellation fees or anything. So
that's good to know.
End on that.
Yeah, because we have a lot of good service members out there.
Yes,
taking care of the service members. Well, we love you guys. The Penyak Travel World, we will all get through this together. We love you so much. We thank you for listening to us. We hope we're bringing you some value, and we can't wait for the next episode, which we're probably going to pump out in a couple days. I mean,
sounds good.
We're all freaking self-quarantined here, and I mean, we might as well do some podcasts.
I like it.
And I'm a little tan. I'm not as pale as I was.
That's true.
No one can see me because it's a podcast, but I'm extremely ghosty pale. I actually got a little bit of sun in
You did
Cancun.
get a little bit of sun, yep.
You were proud of me. You're a sun-kissed goddess, so you tan you tan beautifully, and I burn like a piece of raw bacon thrown into a fryer.
Yeah.
Absolutely burn. Crispy. And I got burned again, 'cause I was trying to be a champion for you.
Not too bad, though, so...
All right. Anyways, let's call it a show on that.
All right.
Love
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Love you guys.